So, Crisis on Infinite Earths has ended, and we're back in Gotham now with Kate and Luke Fox, where they're dealing with the more crises. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park, and this is Approach to Nerd, and in this episode, we are reviewing episodes 10 and 11 of Batwoman, post Crisis on Infinite Earths. And so a lot happened on Crisis. I did do a small rant review. I will link it below. I did a review, which you can check on my channel. I've also done a collaboration with Blerd Without Fear. I will link his channel below. And we just shot another one on the second half. So episodes 4 and 5 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I will say we did not have a lot of positive things to say about it. So if you are triggered by that, please don't watch it because we really weren't that nice. But here we are in Gotham, post Crisis on Infinite Earths. We have Kate, who was a Paragon, so remembers everything that happened. She lets Luke Fox know what happened, so he knows about the multiverse and how all of the Earths pretty much were destroyed and merged, and when they recreated it, it was merged into one singular Earth Prime. And then, of course, we have new multiple Earths, where we see Stargirl and the Lanterns and, the Titans and all of them are on their own Earths. Because they have to do that because of rights. But anyway, so we have Kate. Episode 10 was pretty much more of the Batwoman, coming out kind of episode. She revealed herself to be a lesbian because early in the episode she was in a perilous position and a male cop saved her. So of course they took a picture of it, went over social media, and now everyone called this guy her boyfriend. It didn't help that she kept running into this guy in ways that social media linked them together. So yeah, she's Batwoman's being overshadowed by her romance status. But she does eventually come out because there's a young girl who is using her hacking skills to hack a train and various things and blackmailing people for money. But she's doing it to get money to get away from her parents because her ex-girlfriend outed her to her parents, and her parents are not accepting and probably going down more the homophobic route, meaning they were sleeping with rosaries and threatening to disown her. So it was a cry for help. She even went so far as to saying she wanted to die. As someone in the LGBT community, I can't say this is just a political move because I do know firsthand what that's like. So this is not me forcing politics down anyone's throat. That actually is something that happens a lot in the community, especially when you come out to your family members or you're outed to your family members. So it is what it is. But so yeah, this in turn, Batwoman has to basically take her mask off and reveal herself because Alice kidnaps the young girl, and she's forced to not only show her that she's Kate Kane, who everyone knows who Kate Kane is in Gotham because her family is one of the richest ones in Gotham now, outside of Bruce Wayne, who's missing or MIA. The young girl instantly recognizes her as a lesbian and it's like, why didn't you tell me, yada. And then Alice is trying to force the girl to use her hacking skills to hack everybody's phones and put out that Batwoman is actually Kate Kane, making her stop be a hero, which doesn't really work out for her favor because the hacker girl just basically does a 911 to everyone to get out of their school dance, because in order for Alice to get the young girl to do that for Kate and get Kate to reveal her identity, she had put C4 at one of their parties at the prep school that Kate used to go to. And that's where everything takes place, is that I think Kate calls her school another layer of hell, our old school. But so yeah, the young girl basically saves Kate's identity. So the only one that actually gets the text message that Kate is Batwoman is Alice. So very smart thinking, but I just thought it was very interesting, and I don't think that's the last time we're going to see this young girl. She may be a character, or maybe like an off and on regular, like later on, like they used to do in Arrow with Speedy and all that. So we'll see. Original Speedy. But so that was basically episode 10 in a nutshell. It's basically the coming out of the closet episode. Lots of comments were made. Sophie's dealing with her husband leaving her because of her being in the closet, basically. And a lot of references were pretty much brought full circle. So everything that was happening with this young girl and Kate was pretty much reminiscent of what was happening with Kate and Sophie. And that carries on to episode 11. The only difference is, at the end of episode 10, we actually saw Beth, not Alice Beth, but actually Beth, So Beth shows up on Kate and Beth's birthday, and Kate basically starts choking the crap out of her. But we later learn that this Kate is actually from another Earth. So she really is the twin sister that Kate always wished she had, instead of what she does have, which is Alice. So this Beth is amazing. She is absolutely amazing. And I can see why Kate was so obsessed with bringing Alice back as Beth, because she did have an amazing sister. But what we also learned in this episode is that, just the length. We always knew that Alice was Alice because of all the trauma she went through. But I mean, that man was nasty. Like on her birthday, they had a flashback of her when she was younger, trapped or imprisoned in that room. Mouse gives her a little kitten, and they hide it successfully for a while, but eventually the father finds it and then puts it in, like, I think he saws it. He does something to it that's grotesque. You hear a saw. That is disgusting. And then he realized that Alice had made, or young Beth had made, a little sweater for the cat. And when he asked if she did, she's like, she didn't want to tell him because she's still under the impression that her family is coming to rescue her. Well, then he shows her a newspaper article about, showing him with Catherine and young Mary, that he's basically moved on with his life and the family has moved on. And so now Beth is just like gone. She's like, she knows no one's coming to save me now. And then he makes her start sewing, because she has nimble fingers and is really good at sewing, starts sewing the faces for a mouse out of human skin, which is completely insane. And for her to survive, she starts looking at a picture on the back of Alice in Wonderland, which basically the outfit is very like outlandish, and it's like the old art style that they have back in the day when they used to do art, like illustrations by hand. They still do it, but not digital. That had like kind of like the clownish, upper class type look for Alice, and that's how she got that look, and that's how she became Alice. To escape her reality, she became someone else. So Beth, essentially to her, died in that basement, and Alice was born. So it was disturbing seeing her pass. It was very disturbing. I can't imagine having to go every day of your life as a child all the way through your adulthood, and I still don't know what happened to the father, but more than likely they killed him. But, just being trapped and having to become someone else. So in a way, it's almost like she has a split personality. But yeah, so in the episode, we're dealing with that. We're dealing with the new Beth from the alternate Earth, which means the multiverse is, that's the explanation that, that both Luke and Kate understand, but nobody else does, because nobody remembers that there was a crisis. I will say this. Mary is probably one of the coolest characters to me in this series, because she put together the multiverse theory and explained it in a way that was so clear and simple, and she didn't even know it was real. She doesn't know that Kate's Batwoman. She doesn't know that Luke Fox is like pretty much, the right-hand man or the Felicity of the show. She doesn't realize any of this stuff is going on. She hangs out in Wayne Tower all the time and has no idea what they're actually doing. I think that's hilarious. That she's always coming up with answers and always going in the right, direction for theories, even down to proving that, Mouse is getting skin made out of mass and blah, blah, blah. She is so on point that I don't understand why Kate just does not at this point confide in her. I mean, her mother was killed by Alice, she has no other family. Her stepdad is in jail. It's like, what does she have to lose now, And there was a point she was closing her clinic down. I think the underground clinic is now no longer a thing. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing, because I think Mary needs something. But yeah, she's one of the coolest characters to me. I really cannot wait till they bring her more into the fold. I don't know what she'll do. I know she's a doctor or a med student. She's very good at being a doctor. So maybe that'll be her role in the series. But yeah, they need to do more with Mary, because Mary is awesome. So back to Beth. So as I said, this Beth is amazing. She's nothing like Alice. They had the same experience where the mother died, but the difference was Kate in her world was able to climb in the car and save her. And the Kate of her world, or our Kate, did not do it, because everyone said if she had climbed back in the car, she would have been killed. And now Kate's doubting herself. If I had gotten in that car and saved my twins, she would be this Beth. And what's so interesting is that Kate has embraced Otherworld Beth 100% as her twin. She's just like, this is my twin. This is a miracle. This is my sister. Forget the one that's actually biologically linked to me. This is my sister. And all intents and purposes, they are twins, but just different realities. So in a way, both of these sisters, Otherworld, Other Earth, Beth, and our Kate, have lost a sibling, a twin, and have found each other, but they're twins, which is so weird. But so basically, Alice in this episode goes crazy, and as she's giving all the flashbacks to Sophie, who's trying to get information out of her because she's already said something else was going to happen, which turns out Mouse has kidnapped the sons of all these, politicians and, basically high-profile people, and they're threatening to kill them if they don't release Alice, because they're getting ready to send Alice to Arkham. Well, yeah, her and Sophie have this little banter where, Sophie's like trying to appeal to her human side, and Alice is like, oh, well, you're trapped in a cage too of your own making. You're in the closet and you haven't been able to come out, and you've been trapped in prison for years. And he's like, oh, here we go. Back to Sophie not making that good choice, back when she had Kate in military school. But, they're doing their little banter, and the good Beth from the other Earth decides to dress as Alice, and it almost convinces Mouse because he has Kate, he's basically holding Kate hostage and he's going to kill her. So she's pretending to be Alice, and she was doing a pretty good job, but then she didn't have all of the secret language and code that Mouse and Alice have. So it didn't really go the way she wanted, but long story short, Mouse sets a car on fire with the good Beth in it, and once again Kate finally is able to climb into a car and pull her out, which is very symbolic. Then Alice, basically as she was getting escorted out to Arkham, kills all the guards and basically Sophie comes running out because she figured out that she was about to escape. She puts a gun to Sophie's head and says, yeah, the prison that you're in is of your own making, and that's a whole other level of hell. And so that's probably why she didn't shoot her. That, or she knew that Kate would never forgive her. But she didn't shoot Kate. She didn't shoot Sophie in the head because she's like, you're already in hell, so what am I going to do to you? And so she leaves. Which is interesting because, like I said, full circle. To me, I think Sophie and Kate are going to be getting together pretty soon because everything is basically pushing it that way. So, and they have no other route to take other than, you can only beat something over the head so long, and CW normally doesn't do that. So I have a feeling they're going to be getting together soon. But yeah, so Alice has escaped again. Good Beth is there, and they are sharing the same space. And what we're learning is that two doppelgangers cannot. This is like other, it's like other rules of time travel that we've seen. Although this is like different Earths, you cannot have or share the same space. So they're both basically in a lot of pain at the end of the episode. And what we learn from the preview is that for one of them to live, the other one has to die. Now, if it's up to Kate, we already know which one she's going to save. She's going to save Good Beth because she has Good Beth back. But Good Beth is very sweet, and I think she's going to self-sacrifice herself because, that's what's going to happen because Alice isn't going anywhere. I don't know if that's going to be enough to bring her back to being Beth, but yeah, she won't beg for her life according to the preview. That or Mouse is going to kill Good Beth, which probably is also a thing. I don't know if Alice can kill Beth because deep down Alice still is Beth. I don't know if it'd be like killing herself. So, I don't know. But I'll see how that plays. We'll all get a good glimpse of just how far Alice is going to go in the next episode. Because it's a life or death choice now. She either kills her or she dies. So, we'll see how that works. The only other thing that was happening in both episodes is that Alice set up the father for Catherine's murder. And they still have not been able to prove it. They haven't been able to prove any of it. Sophie tried in the last episode and in this episode, and they still have not been able to prove that Alice set them up, which is really interesting because I don't know why Gotham doesn't get that. And they refuse to raise the bat signal because Batwoman came out as lesbian, and they don't want to be political. So at the end of the episode, instead of, they have a protest of Gotham citizens holding up their phones saying, light the bat light, basically, light the light. And, Batwoman showing up, which was a very cool shot, by the way. Cinematography wise, it was an awesome shot. But yeah, it just shows that in Gotham, they're not as forward as they think they are. So yeah, that basically was Batwoman in a nutshell. It was a little bit all over the place. It wasn't the best episode. It wasn't the, worst episode that has happened for episode 11 or 10. Or 10 and 11. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like we're moving towards another villain, because you can only have Alice for so long. Alice is crazy, but you can only see her backstory. There's only so much you can do, before eventually she's going to either be killed or imprisoned, giving her the opportunity to come back later. But she is like the Joker right now of Kate's universe. And it's harder for her because that's her sister. How Batman and Joker did this dance where Batman never wanted to kill the Joker because he didn't want to be dark like that. He didn't want to become him, basically. That was his fear. Kate doesn't want to kill Alice because that's her twin. She'll choke the crap out of her, but killing her is a wholly different story. So that, yeah, Alice, in all intents and purposes, is the Joker in Kate's life. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, that was my Batwoman really quick review. I'm still playing catch up, guys, so I'm still moving all my stuff in. I still don't have my sound blankets up and all that, so please bear with the audio. I will be doing my Picard video today. Doctor Who's coming as well. But I just wanted to get this one out because I watched it this morning and I just wanted to know what you guys think. So please leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to know who's next in the Nerd Bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.